What if the very thing you are fighting to keep is what God is trying to remove? Not every closed door is failure. Not every delay is punishment. Not every loss is loss. Some of your deepest pain is connected to a divine interruption you didn't ask for. Because God sees what your emotions cannot. He sees the future you're rushing into blindly. And right now, the tension you feel, the confusion, the disappointment, it may not be rejection. It may be protection in disguise. Stay here, because what God is removing might be the first step into who you were truly created to become. God's no can be divine protection. God's no can be divine protection, even when it feels like heartbreak in the moment. Most people only see the closed door, the unanswered prayer, the opportunity that disappeared, or the relationship that slipped away. But God sees the hidden consequences we cannot see. He understands what would have damaged our peace, distracted our purpose, or slowly weakened our spirit. There are seasons when we become emotionally attached to things that were never meant to carry our future. We pray desperately for certain outcomes because we think they will complete us, validate us, or finally make us feel secure. Yet God, in His wisdom, refuses to build our lives on unstable foundations. Sometimes the job you lost was protecting your mental health. Sometimes the relationship that ended was saving your identity. Sometimes the delay was preventing a disaster you never knew existed. God's protection does not always arrive wrapped in comfort. Often it comes through interruption, redirection, and painful silence. Faith matures when you stop interpreting every disappointment as abandonment. A spiritually grounded person learns to trust God beyond emotions. Even in confusion, they continue walking, praying, growing, and believing that what God removes from their hands could never compare to what He plans for their future. Broken plans often reveal greater purpose. Broken plans often reveal greater purpose because God is not limited to the small vision we create for ourselves. Many people spend years designing a future around comfort, approval, money, or personal ambition, never realizing that God desires something deeper than temporary success. He wants transformation. He wants growth that shapes the soul, not just achievements that impress people. There are moments when life suddenly changes direction without warning. Dreams collapse, expectations fail, the path becomes uncertain. In those moments, fear whispers that everything is ruined. But sometimes what feels like destruction is actually divine reconstruction. God often removes what keeps us dependent on our own control. He allows uncomfortable seasons because discomfort exposes what is truly inside the heart. Pride becomes visible. Fear surfaces. Hidden insecurity rises. These moments are painful, but they are also deeply revealing. A broken plan can awaken courage that comfort never could. It can teach discipline, humility, patience, and dependence on God instead of people's opinions. Some of the strongest individuals are not those who avoided suffering, but those who discovered God's presence while walking through it. Purpose is rarely born in easy seasons. It grows in surrender, persistence, prayer, and the decision to keep trusting God when the future looks unfamiliar. Faith grows strongest in hard seasons. Faith grows strongest in hard seasons because comfort rarely pushes people closer to God. When life feels stable, it is easy to depend on routines, finances, relationships, or personal strength. But difficult seasons expose how fragile human control truly is. They strip away false security and force the heart to search for something deeper that cannot collapse under pressure. There are moments when prayers seem unanswered, doors remain closed, and emotions feel unbearably heavy. In those seasons, many people wonder where God is. Yet some of the deepest spiritual growth happens when God teaches you to trust Him without visible evidence. Real faith is developed when you keep believing while carrying pain, uncertainty, and disappointment. Hard seasons also reveal what truly controls the heart. Fear becomes visible. Anxiety rises. Old wounds resurface. But God does not expose weakness to shame people. He brings hidden struggles into the light so healing can begin. Through pressure, patience is formed. Through waiting, endurance grows. Through loss, identity becomes rooted in God instead of temporary things. A strong spiritual life is not built by avoiding storms. It is built by learning to walk with God through them. Discipline in prayer, guarding your thoughts, choosing peace over panic, and refusing bitterness become powerful acts of faith during painful seasons. God develops character before destiny. God develops character before destiny because purpose without maturity can destroy a person. Many people pray for success, influence, relationships, and opportunities, but few ask God to shape their heart first. Yet God understands that an unhealed soul cannot carry lasting purpose without eventually collapsing under pressure. Character is often built in hidden seasons where nobody applauds your growth. It develops when you choose integrity even when compromise would be easier. It grows when you remain kind after rejection, disciplined during temptation, and faithful when life feels unfair. These quiet decisions shape the strength of a person far more than public achievements ever could. God is deeply concerned with who you are becoming, not just what you are accomplishing. He may delay certain opportunities because your spirit needs preparation before your future can sustain the weight of responsibility. Pride must be confronted. Impatience must be refined. Fear must lose its control. Emotional wounds must heal. Many people want instant elevation, but spiritual growth is usually slow and intentional. God teaches patience in waiting seasons, humility through setbacks, and wisdom through difficult experiences. He uses ordinary moments to build endurance, self-control, compassion, and deeper dependence on Him. True destiny is not simply reaching a goal. It is becoming the kind of person who can carry purpose with wisdom, strength, humility, and unwavering faith. Key pain can become preparation for purpose. Pain is not wasted in God's hands. What breaks you can build you, shaping strength, wisdom, and endurance for the calling ahead. Trust God even when life makes no sense. Faith is choosing God over confusion. Even when nothing adds up, you keep walking, believing He is guiding every hidden step. Healing begins when surrender begins. Healing starts the moment you stop controlling everything and place it in God's hands. Surrender opens the door for peace, restoration, and inner renewal. Fear loses power when faith takes over. Fear shrinks when faith rises. When you trust God's voice above your anxiety, courage replaces worry, and your heart learns steady peace in every storm. Discipline and obedience unlock spiritual growth. Discipline in daily choices and obedience to God's voice shape a stronger spirit. Small, faithful steps build a life aligned with purpose and divine direction. Everything we wrestle with in life eventually comes back to one truth. God is not confused about your life, even when you are. The broken plans, the closed doors, the painful delays, and the seasons of uncertainty are not random events. They are shaping something deeper inside you that comfort could never produce. When God destroys a plan, He is not erasing your future, He is realigning it. When He allows discomfort, He is not abandoning you, He is building strength in you. When He leads you through waiting, He is not delaying your promise, He is preparing your character to carry it. And slowly something changes within you. You stop panicking over what leaves. You stop forcing what resists. You start trusting what you cannot yet see. Faith becomes your foundation, not fear. Peace becomes your posture, not anxiety. Obedience becomes your direction, not emotion. And in that shift, you realize the deepest truth. What God builds in you will always outlast what life takes from you.